So my macula is affected. So, and it's degenerating with time. It took away reading from me. I could not read anymore. Seeing people, recognizing them requires the clarity of vision, which was slowly fading away from me. And it took that, took traveling away from me. I love travel, I love seeing new places. It took everything slowly. This is how I got into healing to find as a solution. 10 years ago, I had taken my retina photos. 2-3 years ago, we had taken photos again. And there was a difference in the photo.
Positive difference,
yes. Positive difference. The color of the retina had changed. Just 2 months ago, we took another photo. We took another report also. And in that report, it is clearly showing that the old dead cells are being regenerated.
Oh my God.
So by God's grace, with consistent effort. So it's happening.
Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Today on our show, we have an extraordinary person who had an ordinary life, but a miracle, a story to tell. A story from which we can draw inspiration. He is a pranic healer, he is a meditation practitioner, and he is, you can say, a spiritual coach. He was born with a birth defect in his eyes, and the defect is that as the age increases, the vision decreases. And this started taking things away from him that he loved the most. But while things were being taken away from him, he never compromised on living. He was full of energy, and that is when he discovered healing. He went on a mission to find a solution, to find his answers. And he tried astrology, healing, and a lot of other holistic approach and sciences, including Ayurveda, and he is here now to tell his story. He is also a practicing healer, and he is also a seeker, here to seek the light. Let's listen to this podcast and try to understand different aspects of healing, how healing is connected to Jyotish, and how they are seen under one umbrella. Stay tuned till the end, and you will get much more deep insights into the world of healing and also Jyotish. Please subscribe, share the videos among family and friends, and please follow me on Instagram. All the links are in the description box below. If you want to follow Shiji, or if you want to take consultations related to healing, the links will be on the screen as well as in the description. Let's now connect with Shiji ji. Hello Seekers, welcome to another podcast, and this is going to be a special podcast because I have with me Shiji Kiran ji, who is a great healer, and I know him from a very long time, and he has great healing abilities. So let's welcome Shiji ji.
Thank you so much for that introduction, and I just want a small thing to say there.
Yeah.
Whatever healing abilities, again, God's grace and Guru's grace, I am just a channel. So, but happy to see the impact of it on people, again, by God's grace.
Thank you. Great. Somehow I think we are selected by the study or Vidya itself. What do you think on that?
Yes, definitely. There is definitely an energy which inclines towards a particular field. And again, it's something that's already come like a preset, let's say, due to whatever karma, background, etc. So yes, definitely there is a selection. At the same time, I believe that even by choice and will we can, for the people who want to. But otherwise, yes, definitely there is an inclination that is always there. Like, shall I share something? That
Yeah, please.
So this is something which I spoke, like after speaking to many people, everybody found it a little different. I thought it was normal. So even as a kid, so I was born and brought up in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. And so we used to get this magazine. It was called Young Times. I don't know if it's there or not now. But at that point of time, and this was like when I was in 4th, 5th, 6th standard, etc. Around that time, I used to read a lot. I used to love reading. And there was this, in the magazine, there used to be these counseling columns. Like, I have this problem, how do I solve it? So for me, before I go to the comics, the first thing I would go to is the counseling column.
Okay.
I never knew why. मुझे अच्छा लगता था, okay, ये problem है, solution इसका ये है, ये problem है, इसका ये है. And that's it, okay, मेरा पेट भर गया, अभी जाके comic देख सकता हूँ. So this was what I used to feel, but then this used to be like as a kid. And from there, as I grew older, then we go to 10th standard, 11th standard, boys and girls hit puberty, they get attracted, they get relationships, they have fallouts, etc., etc. So they used to come to me like as if I knew stuff and I didn't know why again. But I found myself always in that counseling mode. I'm trying to help them heal, like, okay, what is your problem? This is your problem. This might be that problem. That might be this problem, etc. Whatever I picked up from this thing. So when you said the chosen one, this may be one of the reasons why I was attracted to the counseling.
Yeah, because in Jyotish, we have a certain yoga or a certain placement of planets by which one can see how strong the healer that person can be. And when we see as an astrologer that these are the planetary positions that are present in the birth chart, we naturally say that yes, you are a natural healer. Now, not all of them will take the path of healing. And then there are certain horoscopes which then develop over time. Now, that's a concept which you can say comes from Navamsha, that their life translates, because some of my clients have this energy that they were very flamboyant in the young age. When I get to I get a lot of experience from clients who are like above 50. So in certain horoscopes, I get to know that they were very happy and very enjoying the life at the young age. But as the age progresses, as they naturally grow, they understand, they get experience, they get completely transformed into sectors like healing, sectors like astrology, sectors like meditation, and some of them have become great meditation practitioners and even teachers.
All right. Okay.
So definitely this healing and Jyotish kind of, according to me, originates from the same divine source. It's just a different expression.
Yes.
Because astrology uses the planetary position to calculate the energy and maybe talk in a mathematical language. Whereas energy therapies and energy healing practices do connect with the soul level. They connect at the energy level. This is, I think, a very different kind of expression of the divine. What is your opinion? Because a lot of the viewers will want to know what actually is healing, because some of them might be hearing this for the first time. And what is this healing? How can somebody remotely connect with me and heal? Because this is something that I want to bring it, and it will be great if I have you talking about that.
Definitely, with pleasure. So this is an area that, so firstly, healing. Now when we say healing, healing can be anything, like even the medical field is into healing, different parts of medical, and what we are into is basically energy healing. So I have learned different modalities. So in healing, we have different modalities. There is Reiki, there is Pranic healing, there is Theta healing, there is Chi healing, there is etc., multiple healings, there is sound healing, etc. So now what we deal into is into energy healing, and professionally I am a Pranic healer.
Pranic healer.
Yes, I've learned all the other modalities. I've learned even there is this healing modality called access consciousness bars.
Okay.
So we have learned that as well, because we need to know. Because like you have mentioned that you had mentioned about you have met many people and all, like with the great background, etc. For me, it's like what you say in the beginning. I connect to that. You said hello seekers.
Yeah.
So I am a seeker. And I think I've sought my way here also. So I am a seeker, so I want to know, what is this? Why is this? Because when we are well informed with everything, whatever we do can always be with more of an informed mind. So like that, my main forte is pranic healing, but I've learned Reiki, I've learned angel therapy, I've learned access consciousness bars. I also, from the other side, coaching and multiple things are there. Because my purpose is, how do we help a person? Sometimes energy healing is not the only, they don't believe. Yeah. Like you said, astrology and healing is from the same divine source.
Yeah.
But people don't believe. Like nowadays, if I'm to be a little blunt, people just want everything as scientific.
Yeah.
And here I just want to say something out, that if you look at the meaning of the word science, it basically means a systematic study. I mean, this is as per the Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah. It's not something I have made up right now. A systematic study of the behavior and functioning, or the structure and behavior of the planets, of the physical and the natural world, through experimentation, observation, and then validating the data that we've got within, like validating the proof. Nowadays, this is supposed to be science. So you study through observation, you study through experimentation, and you validate. Validation can be many ways. But nowadays, unfortunately, this is my personal opinion, unfortunately, people confuse the word science with basically a collection of facts by the Western world.
Correct.
Now, we're not saying that is wrong, definitely no, but that is a science. It's not the only science.
Maybe it's a different language of science, and we can express this part of life as a different language of science.
Yes.
There are different ways by which you can express, like astrology itself has an own language.
Yes.
It itself has a language of planets. Now, if we try to connect Saturn with, say, dy by dx or a lambda function, then it won't work.
Yes.
Because that was created with a certain purpose.
Exactly.
And this is altogether a different, I will say, a different forte or a different arena.
Yes.
So, healing, I think, is also a kind of it's a scientific, absolutely scientific, because if it is not scientific, we will not be experiencing it.
Yeah, so this is Eastern science.
Yes, this is Eastern science.
That is Western science. It's also a science.
Yeah.
Now, if I am to quote one more thing, if you look at the Merriam-Webster's dictionary description of science, they say it is a branch of knowledge, something like a branch of. So this is a branch of knowledge in the Eastern side. Yes. So it is there, definitely.
So the word science and scientific has been, I think, see, what my learning about science was that if you are an enthusiastic about science or scientific studies, then have an open mind.
Exactly.
Anything is possible.
Exactly.
And if you are learning, because I am also a bachelor's in technology in electronics and communication.
Yes.
So I have done my certain engineering and studied science. But one thing I have seen that sometimes we tend to have biasness about a certain subject, right? And then we say, no, my learning is right, your learning is incorrect. You have to come to my domain and prove it in my language. That might not work.
Yes.
What is your opinion on that?
Definitely. So, yes, like when we are in the regular daily life, I mean, we have no option. Okay, also, I mean, to be fair, once again, that I think people are busy with their own lives because we all need to get our bread and butter, our home and everything. We need to, buy food for the family. We have to work. So definitely, whatever in the beginning that we studied in school, we go to work and we earn. Then after that, there's not much time, unfortunately, for an individual, especially nowadays, to maybe open their mind. But yes, definitely what you said. Since we said, science itself defines one of the thing is you have to validate it.
Yes.
But nowadays we are like, nahi, ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है? क्यों? Because the
it has
Western
been said
world,
by some Western world. It is not verified by that.
Exactly.
Maybe we have to change our mindset because you must be experiencing. A lot of people have gained benefits by your healing, and that's a practical example.
Yes.
And astrology, as I was talking earlier, is also a kind of a scientific tool because you have a software for that.
Yes,
you can't have a software for something that is based on belief.
Exactly.
Right? So definitely these are different expression of life that I want to introduce to the audience so that even if they have any inhibition, because healing, I think in modern day and age is required by a lot. People are having job issues. People are having family issues. There are marriage related issues. Health issues are becoming very common nowadays. So going into a very holistic way of life and starting with at least cleansing your energy and cleansing your mind has become like the need of the hour. So what would you recommend in a very layman who has maybe zero or absolutely very little idea about healing? How will you introduce healing as a science to them and how can it benefit them?
So, I mean, this is something that, so by qualification, I've done Masters in Computer Application. So my mind is also always from that direction. And very frankly, let me share here that I also never believed in all these things. I'm like, okay, you give me the logic, you give me the proof, I will believe it. Suddenly, if you come and tell me, somebody moved their hand, did some blessing, it's okay. It doesn't work that way. This was how I used to be. But again, unfortunately, the scientific part of the explanation has been lost. So we are not able to explain. So my effort has been to do that. So when a person wants to understand healing, what I say is, okay, in school we had this experiment where we have this magnet, like a physical magnet. Then we have this paper over it, and you spread iron filings over it. And then when we spread iron filings over it, they arrange itself in a particular shape.
the lines, field lines of forces.
The
field lines.
Yes, the field lines. So these lines indicate the invisible energy field around it, which can't be seen with the naked eye.
Yes.
So just like how the physical magnet has an invisible energy field, same way this physical body has an invisible electromagnetic field.
Correct.
Which is very well used by modern science through ECG, EEG. EEG and ECG is what? They check the electrical activity of the heart in ECG.
Correct.
Electrical activity of the brain. So science also has agreed that we have an electrical field.
Bioelectricity.
Right. So in healing, what we do, there is a biomagnetic field or a bioelectric field called the aura, and we have other certain fields of energy called the chakras. So every chakra, okay, so it's like this. Suppose the aura is a machine and the chakras are the motors, then the body and the mind are a product of this machine and motor function. So just to give a small example, every chakra has a physical and a psychological function.
Okay, just to introduce audience to the chakras, there are 7 chakras right from Mooladhara to the Sahasrara chakra. So you can say chakras are like, for the people who don't know, spiritual centers of the body. And like the motors, and as it says, chakra means something that rotates. So it's like a motor that rotates. So kind of the terminology matches.
Yeah.
So please, I was just trying to introduce that.
Yes. No, please do, because I may just get carried away sometimes. It's very passionate for me. So every chakra has a physical and a psychological function. Let's say, for example, the heart chakra. So the heart chakra at the physical level is responsible, or anahata we call it, is responsible for the physical heart, the chest, the thoracic area, these areas, and the lungs also to a certain extent. The physical level. At the emotional level, it is connected to peace, love, happiness, joy, forgiveness, all the higher frequency emotions. It's connected to that. So let's say somebody has let's say somebody's heart chakra goes, let's say, off balance. We say it goes off balance. Then we need to see, like, it can affect you physically, it can affect you emotionally. Usually the first thing it affects is emotionally. Then it slowly creeps into the physical aspect. So what we as healers do, we clean the negative energy in the chakras, or let's say we balance that chakra so that it can support, it can continue working how it is supposed to function, a physical level, a emotional level, whatever is there. So this is how I explain it to somebody who comes to me like, what is the logic here, the science? It is simply an electromagnetic field which we are balancing.
So it's like one electromagnetic field interacting with another electromagnetic field, and kind of you bring your energy and bring their energy into kind of resonance, and if it's excess, it will clean it. So I have a very interesting, when I was a child and when I was learning about this rainbow and spectrum of light, it was very fascinating, and we did that prism experiment where you pass a light and then there is a light splits into 7 different colors.
Yes.
And when I was studying my physics, and it says that white light is a mixture of 7 colors, but I was into meditation practice and I was introduced at a very early age, you can say since birth.
Wow.
It's like in the family.
Wow.
One thing that I saw as a very contrasting connection, I will say very magical connection between light and chakras, real physics connection, is in Shastras, the color of Sahasrara chakra is violet. The color of Agya chakra is indigo. The color of Vishuddhi chakra is blue. The color of Anahat or heart chakra is green. Then the solar plexus or the Manipur chakra is yellow. Sacral is orange and Mooladhara is red.
Exactly like the Vibgyor.
It's the Vibgyor.
Yes.
So that means those 7 spectrums of light are inside our own body in the form of healing. So it's like light therapy.
Yeah, actually, yes, so true.
And imagine like this is for the audience, that imagine you have a rainbow and suddenly you have no green color. That means something is wrong in the green spectrum.
Yes.
That means it is like your Anahat chakra is imbalanced.
Yes.
So will you be like the one adding that green light to the person's life? And how will you do that? How will a healer achieve that level?
Okay. So yes, like you said, the green light or that green energy or whatever that energy represents.
I'm sorry, just saying it in a very simple terms so
Ah,
that
actually.
audience can understand and connect it.
All right. So yeah, definitely that particular energy that is lacking, we as a healer channelize that energy. The key word here is channelize. So it is very important for us to know that as a healer, usually we'll hear this particular thing. Oh my God, I healed, did so many healings today and I got drained. Oh my God, I'm so tired. This is true. Why? Because somewhere the energy is being taken from this system, like this body that we have, the physical and the invisible. So as a healer, what we do, we channelize the energy. So now, like I mentioned, we are into pranic healing. My forte is pranic healing. So in pranic healing, the analogy that we need to understand is just like how fish are in the sea, we humans are within prana, the life force. So when we need to heal somebody, what we do is we clean or remove the negative energy and we act as a channel. We channelize energy from the universe through our system and then we do the healing.
So you're like a vessel.
Exactly, like a vessel, a channel. So that's how we do the healing. We clean whatever negativity is required and we energize it and balance it as per however it's required, basically. That's what we do in the main process of healing.
So basically, to become a channel in astrology, we usually see how powerful the person's 8th house is. 8th house in the horoscope is kind of house that has magical powers. It has magical secrets. And if someone has strong connection of moon with 8th house or 8th lord, or if 8th house and 3rd house represents your hands, basically the medium of healing. And if that 8th house energy is somehow connected with like a prarabdha, in Jyotish we call something called prarabdha, that means something that you have to do in this life, then we have seen, astrologers have seen that it has produced great healers. It has given, it's like to the people who want a mathematical interpretation of healing, may not get it in the Western science, but can get in Jyotish. Because Jyotish is nothing but a mathematical language.
Exactly.
So if someone is feeling some emotional surge and there is some healing energy coming into them, their horoscope can verify. Their future can verify. I'm not saying that they are born healers, but there are properties in the horoscope that can help them become the healer if they try to. And then there are people who are like receiver horoscopes. They are having certain kind of energy that they will need input from healers. So here there are certain aspects in someone's life. I'm talking from a very layman perspective, not going into very technical in depth. Saturn, Rahu and Ketu. I'm sure you must have heard about them.
Yeah, they're very famous.
Very famous planets. Very famous. There are people are scared like anything.
Exactly, they're very scared.
Shani aa gaya. 7.5 lag gayi, something 7.5, Rahu, Mahadasha. I know why this fear comes from, because these 3 planets have what you call as malefic function. In the definition of this mortal world, they will do negative, although they are gods, and I tell this to everyone that they are devatas and their sole intention is to help you become someone who can attain moksha. Everyone, all our soul has the same path of attaining moksha or moving into one direction. But come to the world that we are in, this 3-dimensional space, they will definitely create certain disturbances. Like Saturn is famous for creating delays. Delay brings frustration. Rahu is famous for creating illusion. Illusion can make a person believe anything in this world. It's Maya. And Ketu as a planet is famous for creating disgust or disgusting scenario, that something will happen so bad and that you will start hating that. Imagine someone wants marriage, say let's take an example, and the marriage happens to him and then the life becomes disgusting. So much that if somebody asks him, will you get married again? That person will fold their hands and say, nah baba, I don't want to. I have seen enough. So this is in a very generic sense, this is how the energy flows. And what I have seen in my consultation is most of the people who are affected by these planets need healing. So let's take, because this might help a lot of people. Because a lot of people know that they are under certain planetary aspects.
Definitely.
So let's take one planet, Saturn. What Saturn does is that it creates hurdles delays, obstruction, and no matter how much you give, say in a relation or in a work, you don't seem to get the result back. May not be now. And there are a lot of people who are impatient, and everybody in this world is more or less impatient.
Yes.
So let's this. I think this will be helpful for a lot of people. That how will you heal or at least guide them what they should do in case they feel there is a Saturn related obstruction.
Okay, so this is such a wonderful question to think about, but I would say, because I've had my share in my. So I also want to ask you, Puneet. Anyway, down the line we will, but yeah, Saturn. One thing, like I said, what like you said, is it creates delays, frustrations, impatience. People get impatient. So one of the ways that we can help a person who is affected by Saturn, or this, let's say the negative part of Saturn,
just the frustration and coming from
frustration. So here, what we need to do, all these are emotions, right? So we have like the Anahata chakra and we have the Manipura chakra, which is connected with the emotions also. So Anahata is responsible for peace and acceptance. Now, usually we face a problem. And the problem is, one of the biggest problems with the problem is we don't accept the problem.
Yes.
How is this possible? No, it can't be, this, that. Then we go over that phase, then we're like, okay, this is the problem. Now, how do we sort it? Now you are on target. So this is a function of the heart chakra, acceptance.
Which is actually the sole target of Saturn, to bring you to the acceptance level. You have to accept and surrender. And then Saturn will start giving you answers. So how do they because I know somebody who is in trouble might not think even about acceptance. How should I accept?
Yeah, that's
why is this happening to me? What should they do? Or can a healer come in, or should they contact a healer at that point of time?
I would say definitely yes. Why? See, of course, the option is always with the individual. They want to, they don't want to. But why to spend time brooding over the problem instead of just getting over with it, move forward in life? So sometimes what happens is the energies are too strong. We can't control it.
Yeah.
The individual. So go to a person who is a professional or who can do something about it. Contact a healer or maybe a counselor, example. But counseling also, I've noticed, because I do that as well. Because like I mentioned, one of the purpose of my life, I feel, is to try and help people as much as possible to find their way. Whether it's through healing, whether it's through counseling. But I've noticed healing works very fast. I've also done a certification in coaching, which is a way of counseling. But I found that healing works even faster. So go to a healer if you wish, and allow your heart chakra to be cleansed, and allow the acceptance to come in. Work on the Mooladhara chakra, allow the confidence to come in. Work on the solar plexus chakra, allow the frustration to be cleared out. And then after that, suddenly the problem is like, okay, this is the problem, let's go ahead with it. Once you are at peace, once you have the strength, once you have the confidence, then the problem is not so much of a problem anymore. That's what I feel.
Yeah, so it's more like the same thing that Saturn says, surrender to me and accept that this is going to be like this, accept the problem because there is a higher purpose. A lot of people come to me and say, I am suffering from Sadasati, I am suffering from Saturn related things. I say Saturn is not your enemy.
Oh yes, definitely not.
Nobody is your enemy. It is our own karma that have put us here.
Yes.
So it is better to connect to a healer and get your energy cleansed. Like as an astrologer, I will be helping them in a certain way. Similarly, healer can help in a certain way. Like Pranic healing, according to me, is a wonderful tool that can, that can bring people out of misery.
Definitely.
And then another kind of a problem that I get a lot is illusion. So how does, do you have any experience that you are trying to explain a certain or try to heal someone and you have seen that person is saying something but is under a kind of an illusion in mind, like an illusion of power or illusion of money, and you are seeing that things will be bad? How can you help such instances?
Definitely. I want to get to this because before that, Puneet, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
Could you share the positive sides of Saturn? Because I feel Saturn has been made like a big villain and a scary figure that, oh my God, it's Saturn. And there are so many things out in the, you get to read. So how would you guide somebody, or how would you say like the positive things of Saturn are like what? Like how can people get a positive thing? Arey, ye hai to, no problem. Like something positive about Saturn, how does it help?
See, Saturn has been unnecessarily, defamed, I will say.
Yeah.
Why? Because we as a human, someone who is not into spiritual path, would not want to face the problem. This is the nature of the mind.
Yeah.
I don't want problems. I want peace. I don't want to work hard, but things should come to me automatically.
Yes.
And that nature makes Saturn a villain.
Exactly.
Rather, if people who know a bit of astrology knows that Saturn rules your karma and karma phal. Your entire karma, that means your career, your actions, your designation, your name, fame, gain, money, is actually under the control of Saturn.
Wow.
And Saturn is nothing but karma, hard work. You work, you will get result. Now the problem is, why people fear is, we all say we have committed sins. And when Saturn comes in effect in our life, we get results of our sins. So if we are true to ourselves and we accept, and now Saturn is a kind of a teacher who wants you to accept the knowledge, because he is a devata.
He's a teacher, you said.
He's a teacher.
Yes.
He's a very strict master. He's a strict master.
Yes.
And he's not going to leave any stone unturned to discipline you. But if we behave like a good child, like a good student, why will Saturn? Because it's only the task of Asura or the demons to trouble us.
Yeah, so true.
But why will Saturn as a god trouble us? The positive side of Saturn is it helps us align our mind in a straight path. It doesn't allow us to break the boundaries, break the barrier and go at random. And we don't like it.
It brings like a discipline.
Imagine a flow of river. Imagine what happens when the river crosses the bank. It will just wash away the villages and everything.
Yes.
But it is the bank that holds the river. Saturn is like that bank and river is the mind.
So true.
So you can say this is the mental flow. And I'm sure pranic healing will work wonders in such instances where people need to be into that flow or accept that flow.
Yes, definitely. Definitely it does. By God's and Guru's grace, this is what we do in healing. Acceptance, and yes, like you said, okay, now connecting it to the second thing of illusion that you had mentioned. Yes, there are many people who are in illusion, and it's a normal thing. I mean, let me say this about myself also. Like when I got into healing because I got healing first.
Okay.
And I had gone to healing because I had certain emotional challenges at that point of time and physical challenges, which I'm still working on, and it's improving. By God's and Guru's grace, it's still improving. So even I was under the illusion that I am this, I am that, I have this, I am that. Ego was definitely there. Along with ego, certain other ideologies that I had about myself also was there. As time went by and I was able to understand certain things, because also I'm on the path of seeking. That's a personal thing. I'm on the path of seeking. So I was able to understand through observation, analysis, and so on. But nowadays, people, again, like we discussed, that they don't have time for that. You can't blame them exactly. They're busy working, earning money, fulfilling their dreams and ambitions in the material world. So there are many people that we see who are in illusion. There are people. You've mentioned about the illusion of power. You said one more thing, illusion of
success, or illusion of money, illusion of power, See, Maya can be everywhere.
Exactly.
There is prana around us, so is Maya. So Maya can trick the mind into making us believe that we can do something. Like for example, there will be distractions. If you follow the path of healing or sadhana, there will be a lot of distraction that will be put in front of you. Like a test.
Yes.
Do you get distracted? Do you have any experience of that? And how did you protect yourself from such distractions during your journey to become a master?
So, for me, yeah, definitely there are distractions. There are distractions even now also, frankly, and it'll always be there. It's not about, so, one thing that I've always believed, that it's not a problem that is the problem. It's the inability to handle the problem, which is the actual problem. This is something that I've always believed.
Okay.
So, if there is a distraction, means it's a problem. Okay, how do we handle this? Firstly, what is the distraction? Try to understand it a little bit. Let's say like thoughts are coming. The most common thing is I'm getting too many thoughts. And what we do, no, I want to silence the thoughts. I don't want thoughts. This is not possible. At least at this stage, or for a regular person who's living a normal everyday life. So in my case, I've tried to understand and find out ways to cleanse myself of these thoughts, to settle my thoughts at least, and then go ahead with the practices. This is one. Second thing is, oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'm too lazy. Right, no, I don't want to do anything. I'm too stressed. I just want to be. These are all those, like you said, the Rahu. You can say the Rahu. He's there inside talking. Yeah, don't do. Come to the evil. This kind of a thing, you know. So we identify it the once we know, and yeah, one thing is I feel detachment. If I get too attached to the thing, oh, I am so stressed. Oh, stress is me. It comes to that point. No. Stress has come to me. It was not there earlier. If it's come to me, it is not me. I can push it away. So that awareness is important. And also one thing, Puneet, I want to ask you, can a mentality like, let's say, a person considers themselves as helpless and victimized, can this also be a Rahu type of illusion?
Yes, very well. Because sometimes you may assume the problem to be much bigger than it actually is. And this usually happens when the moon gets affected in the birth chart and the moon gets affected in the transit chart. Because it can't be that your every day, every moment is bad. But there are certain phases in which they might feel that yes, their moon or mind is getting affected, and because of which they think they are in deep trouble. As the time, and in certain consultation, all I say is wait, don't do anything, just wait for some time, and automatically with the time things become normal, because as soon as the planetary shift happens, things suddenly becomes normal and their attitude changes. Now their perspective towards the problem changes. But I think there has to be a way that when they are in the problem and when they feel helpless, I think they need hand holding.
Yes.
Right? As an astrologer, I will tell them what you do, and as an astrologer, I will recommend them continue your sessions with a healer or a psychologist, because you need that hand holding.
Yes, exactly.
So definitely, I'm sure that you can shed more light that how will that hand holding work, and is there any basic practices that a person can do at home by themselves, which helps them get out of these kind of stuck mentality or maybe the problem that they are assuming to be in?
Yes, definitely. There are many practices. Now, in fact, I heard this earlier also, and I've heard this from you as well. Like sometimes we tell people to meditate. So that's the first thing that I ask them. Now, meditation doesn't mean just sitting simply and doing nothing or just concentrating. Usually meditation means, okay, you sit in one place, close your eyes, sit. And that is one of the kinds of meditation. But sometimes we need other kinds of meditation, like meditating on a particular chakra, meditating on a particular quality, different kinds of visualizations. So, okay, before we get into that, you asked about the hand holding. Definitely it is important, because sometimes people want to go to the destination and they are not able to exactly cross that path, just like how a friend would suggest you or guide you. In fact, there was a story that I had heard. This was about Gautam Buddha. He had mentioned the story where, this is one of his stories that I've heard. I believe it was his brother. I mean, forgive me for the facts. I don't completely remember, but I believe it was his brother who was there with him, and they were supposed to go to a particular town. Gautama the Buddha, being him, he knew that this town is very far. But every now and then he would say, oh, it's just 2 kilometers. It's just 2 kilometers. Just 2 kilometers. Just 2 kilometers. And his brother, being a devotee and listening to him, okay, he said it might be. Now, the thing is, they traveled and they met many people on the way, and somehow those people knew. They also told, when Gautama the Buddha used to ask him, the people, how far is it? They said, Arey, it's just here. Like how we tell, Arey, idhar hi hai, baju mein. So, like that they would go. And because of this, they were able to travel hundreds of kilometers. Because the mind has seen a short distance which it can handle. The mind has seen something which it can handle. 2 kilometers, we will manage.
Ho jayega.
But this is exactly how the hand-holding works, where either we give them something their mind can handle, or give them some activity, strengthen some of their chakras. Even as a healer, we can strengthen their chakras so that they feel the peace. Again, if the heart is shrunk, you won't feel the peace. You'll be like, what do I do? No, it's just a matter of half an hour. But no, I can't sit. Okay, calm down. Just have your heart chakra opened up have the Vishuddhi Chakra cleansed, solar plexus cleansed, Manipuraka cleansed, you're at peace. And if you're at peace, you can handle anything. So as a healer, this is what we do. Because sometimes there is no solution. Just waiting it out is only solution. Can't do anything about it.
And what is your opinion on, or can you shed some light on Mooladhara Chakra? That's a very interesting. I have a lot of people ask me because it creates fear. So
Mooladhara is also one of the most famous chakras.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, like you mentioned about, so this is something that I've read. Again, frankly, this I'm not, because I've read multiple different types. And everybody's claiming it to be from the Shastras more or less. But it's not the Shastras that's the problem, it's the people who are putting it across as a problem. That people have mentioned that the Saturn is connected to the Mooladhara Chakra. Is it, what is your take on that? Is it actually there?
We can't really connect one planet to any chakra. There are ways to connect planets to chakras. But Mooladhara Chakra is more or less connected to Mars as the beginning of the life. Saturn is the Karaka of death.
Okay.
And Saturn is the Karaka of deep meditation. So you can very well connect Saturn to Agya Chakra.
Okay.
But for Mooladhara Chakra, but you cannot deny that Saturn has no role in Mooladhara, because if you want to develop something, you will have to do hard work, you will have to plant the seed,
Right.
it has to go into the base, and then there is, you have to do that hard work and have patience. Again, that the Saturn role comes. But Mooladhara is red in color, right? And
yes,
then
yes.
it has the energy of, it has a lot of masculine and feminine energy,
Right.
Energy of creation, and that energy comes from Mars.
Okay. Because this is something that, in my seeking journey that I've still been seeking, because I firmly believe everything is connected.
Yes.
If the entire world was created from one small single point called singularity, and from there if everything has come, means the source is one, and definitely they're connected. So just like how the planets are connected, our entire system, we are also connected to the planets. So this is what I believe, but I just wanted to ask you, what is your say in that? So Mooladhara Chakra is again everybody's favorite chakra because
Yes.
it is to do with prosperity and money.
Yes.
First thing, it is connected to the material existence. So anything to do with material existence, like money, house, materially your survival, your drive for survival, like to earn money, physical body health, again material, physical body health, everything, the mool adhar, like the way it is, like the cornerstone, is the root chakra or the basic chakra or the Mooladhara Chakra. And if you're having financial issues, if you're having constant bad health issues, prosperity again related finance issues, then we work on the Mooladhara Chakra. This is a very simple thing that I'm saying. If we are not able to get work, or if you don't feel confident for an interview, for example, there could be something with the Mooladhara Chakra. Attracting money, law of attraction. One of the chakras important is Mooladhara Chakra.
So law of attraction actually originates from this Mooladhara. That means it is like want or desire. And Mooladhara will be like, we said that a desire is the beginning of everything.
Yes.
Even we exist because God has a desire for us to exist.
And they say desire is a root cause of evil. No. That's also, clarified. No? Again, he has mentioned that unwholesome desire is the root cause of all evil. So desire is okay, and we have a desire to get money, we have a desire to grow, we have a desire to build a body. That's good, as long as we're not doing anything wrong. Otherwise, Mr. Shani is sitting there, Mr.
Yes,
Saturn.
his third drishti will watch.
And his desires will come into play.
Yeah.
So
So I think anyone who has disturbed Mooladhara Chakra will have a lot of fears in their life.
Yes.
And sometimes even the horoscope shows everything is perfect. If spiritually they are not aligned and Mooladhara is disturbed, we see that the person is too scared.
Yes.
Maybe there is a lot of financial instability in their mind, thinking the problem to be much bigger than it actually is.
Yes, actually.
So what is your take? Do you have any such experience in your healing profession? And when you heal people, what experiences you get? What do they share with you?
So definitely there are many people who have Mooladhara Chakra which is imbalanced, or it's basically not in the right alignment, let's say, and it's not balanced properly. So people definitely experience fear. Along with fear, some people experience laziness. So like depression, if your Mooladhara Chakra is weak, because see, Mooladhara is supposed to fuel your prosperity or material existence. Now, if the Mooladhara Chakra itself is weak, then they won't have any desire for material existence. Okay, I'll be fine. Or depression. Like people, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to get up from the bed. Because if you have to work, you have to get up from your bed. So once a Mooladhara goes down, then you don't feel like doing anything. You just lie on the bed, eat, sleep, relax. Not relax also, just eat, sleep and just be. Which is due to an afflicted Mooladhara chakra.
Kind of a dormant state of life.
Yes.
Not really active.
Yes.
So kind of surviving but not living.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Surviving meaning you're breathing, you're eating, you're drinking. That's about it. You don't feel the drive to go out and okay, let's get this done. That is not there.
Which we can also see that if someone's moon or Mars get afflicted heavily, usually face this. Like Mars, which is a karak of energy, and Moon, which is a karak of mind. If they get afflicted in the chart, we say your Mooladhara chakra might be afflicted because they say the same thing.
Yes.
So you can say this is again the same thing, that people who will be having this kind of feeling can go back and cross verify in their birth chart that something is wrong with Moon or Mars. Or if somebody knows astrology and they know that their Mars and Moon is afflicted, they can now cross verify and say, oh, maybe my Mooladhara is not working.
Right. Yeah. True. So true. It connects also.
It connects.
Whatever you're saying.
So at that time they can easily connect to a healer.
Yeah, definitely. By God's grace, yes, they can connect to a healer.
And when a person comes to you, how do you determine through your own experience? Like, can you shed some light for the public and audience that how do you get to know that this chakra is affected? How does your healing works there? How do you experience that?
Okay. So as a pranic healer, we learn how to check the chakras with your own hands. We check what is the particular, what is the size of the chakra, what is, whether it is, there's too much energy on it or too less energy on it, because too much is also not good. So all the chakras, we check what is the size, what is the energy level, is it too much or too less? Now, we might think that, if there's a lot of energy, it's good, no? Like, no. If it's like, let's say for example, Mooladhara. If it's too big or too activated or too like over energy is there, then you will just be in drive, like do this, like fight, get, this kind of a mode you will be in, which is not good. So for me, by God's grace and Guru's grace, with experience as of now, what I can see is when the person speaks only, we get an idea. Okay, this chakra, this might be on. But nonetheless, we still check the chakras. What is the energy of the chakra? What is the size of the chakra? And then we cross question them. Like, okay, are you feeling this? Are you feeling that? Because every chakra has multiple aspects. Like the heart, for example, it has the aspect of love. It has the aspect of peace. Now, if the heart chakra is affected, then maybe they are not at peace, or maybe they're not able to experience the feeling of love. Now, we need to validate. So, through question asking and through checking the chakras with our hands, we use our bare hands to check the chakras. With that, we understand what the issue is, we diagnose, and we go ahead with the therapy accordingly.
So there are proper methods and modalities of therapy, and people can actually get help from that.
Definitely, yes, they can. And they can also learn.
They can also learn.
I mean, I also, like I said the first time,
you teach?
Yes, I am an instructor.
Okay.
So, if I can share my journey, how I got in.
Please.
So, in the beginning, when I had gone to get healing, that's like I said, I went to a healer because I wanted to get healing, and this was more than around 10-12 years ago. And he did a lot of things, and I found results. It took a month for me, and I got results. And so I was born and brought up in Abu Dhabi, like I mentioned. So there, being outside India, the spiritual aspect or the religious aspect is not there much. It was not very. I was again more of the logical, scientific. What you see, you believe. Dikhta hai, bikhta hai, us type ka. So this wasn't there much. So when my friend told me that there is such a thing called healing and you can go for it, I'm like, okay, I'm trying everything. Let's try this also. Try it and see what's the harm. So this person, he did it, and when I got result, I'm like, oh, this works. Must be very difficult to learn, no? Like you spend years on the mountain and then go this place, that place, and all. Then he's like, no, you can learn. I'm like, hey, I can learn? Okay, what all do I need to do? Nothing. Attend the class. Hey? That easy? Like, yeah, anybody can learn. Okay, great. So that's how I got into healing. Now, if I am to tell you about my other experiences, then it might take a little long. because when I saw the person who was my healer, and I spoke to him on the phone, he seemed like a nice, silent, shant person, a very peaceful person. And the address that he had given me was near a park. So in my mind, it's like, oh, it's a park. Babaji, beard, orange clothes, under a tree, some students are. This is the picture that I got, because it sounded like that also. And the address he said was a park. And I went and waited over there. I called him, and he's like, I will come. And he came. He's wearing t-shirt and shorts. He's a normal person. Then I asked him, what do you do? Like, I work in IT. Hey, he works in IT? Are you sure? Or no, wait, you must be one of the disciples. Where is the main master? Like, no, I am the one. Oh, so normal people can learn this? This was my thought process. I'm like, arey, wow, a new world opened to me. And then he explained the logic and the science. Again, being into IT. So he explained the logic and the science. And okay, so when I was sitting and receiving healing, he asked me to close my eyes. So in my head, I've watched all these movies where they do ha ha hoo and all those things. And I'm hearing some sounds basically. So I thought he must be doing, don't open your eyes will blast. Something, that was my thought process. But then when I learned healing, arey, this is all that is. And it's very simple. Anybody can learn. And I believe this day and age, like Kali Yuga, is when you need to learn healing, especially a modality like Pranic healing. Why? Because nowadays there is a lot of false marketing going on. There's a lot of wrong information going on around. In the name of energy, there are so many things that are being sold, so many things that are being expressed. So when you're a healer, you don't have to go by what people say. You can check the energy yourself with your hands, which puts you in a big position of power. So you become independent.
It kind of verifies.
Exactly. And which is important. It's not like we are in the olden days where everything is nice and pure and it's all ha, bed of roses, a land of roses, nothing like that. We need to check, we need to verify, at least in the beginning. Then after that, so healing gives you that ability. It's, again, by God's and Guru's grace and the great teachers who have passed this knowledge on, who has opened it up to everybody, you will be empowered, or rather enabled, to open that aspect of your perception where you will be able to feel and sense the energies by yourself. No need to depend on anybody. Anybody can.
That's a great way to actually live, because we are in Maya, and anything, as I said, can be illusion. And if there is something that can verify that does not originate from Maya, is a big thing.
It's required nowadays.
It's required nowadays.
It's required. And when you mentioned about Maya, now I am also thinking, you mentioned this about Ketu and depression.
Ketu and disgust. This Ketu brings a kind of disgusting feeling.
Sorry. What is?
So Ketu is a karak of moksha. So moksha, people think that Ketu will come and send them, make them die, or make them a hermit or saint. No. Ketu is a kind of energy that detaches, but detaches by force. It is a very violent energy that uproots you to plant you somewhere else. Nobody likes that. So when Ketu comes as a transit or as a Mahadasha, or you can say in a simple word, if Ketu is the dominant theme of your life, then time and again you will have this detachment feeling. And what happens is that somebody is attached to someone or something, and Ketu comes into effect, takes that away. What does the mind think?
Okay, the attachment, it takes it away.
Yes, that is the moksha. Because the word moksha is not applied like globally. It's like one time moksha and you are to God. you reach Vaikuntha. No. Moksha is a continuous ongoing process, which I think in energy we can say cleansing, decluttering, detaching.
Yes,
so that is only Ketu. Just that people don't want.
It becomes an identity. Unfortunately, people get attached and they create an identity out of something.
Yes.
Which is a problem actually. And they become attached and you can't.
And it's like if that thing is being taken away, it is like your identity is taken away. And this is exactly what I say to people who are supposed to come under the impact of Ketu. That see, you are going to change and there's nothing you can do. So better to accept that change and focus on the positive energy. And I think that is the time also these kind of people who are affected by Ketu's energy, compared to Saturn and Rahu affliction in the chart, Ketu's affliction needs healing the most. Because you need somebody to make you understand that detachment was good. I think there is something called cord cutting in healing.
Yes.
which is a form of detachment.
Yes.
So can you shed some light on that thing, because that will help people who are affected by Ketu, because they have to do that cord cutting.
Aha. Oh yes, it's so many things are just relating now when you're saying it. It's so connected and it makes so much sense beautifully. Yes. So cord cut. So basically, it's like this. Like when, okay, common example. We listened to a song some days ago, and suddenly when we get up, the whole day that song is playing in the head over and over, and you can't do anything about it. Sometimes it is nice, sometimes it is irritating. So why is this? Because there is, at the energy level, there is a particular cord that's been connected between that song energy, not the song as such, the energy, and the person. Same way, there are certain memories, maybe certain traumas, certain negative experiences, maybe certain places that people have had that memory in, or negative experience in, which keeps going around in the mind. Then usually what we do is we suppress it. Then it goes to the back somewhere, like, in the memory. And then because of which we have certain other issues down the line. So in healing, what we do is we can cut the negative cords between that memory or event or person. Some people, like, they may not like a person, but it kind of bothers them. So that person is there, song, whatever. Between that energy and the individual, there is a cord. We cut the cord. We remove the cord. So that person now is free from the clutches of that particular energy. And then that person, it doesn't bother them anymore. And even if it does, the intensity will be like hardly like 10% or something like that.
So it's kind of a great remedy of Ketu.
Acha.
So because Ketu does it the hard way. It's like take a weapon and cut the cord. And it then pains. It gives a lasting pain, because it is only through pain and disgust you will go away from Maya. I don't want anything in this world. That is why you will go to God. But I think the healing will have a softer and a polite expression, and also kind of a very magnificent effect, a magical effect on people who have Ketu related issues.
So here, shall I share something personal?
Yes, please.
So now when you're telling this, because one thing is I'm also interested in astrology, because one of the reasons, again, for whatever I am doing right now, just to share, everything is through experience. Whatever I am doing, whatever I am teaching, whatever I am sharing, it's all through my personal experience, and I've been grateful to God and all the higher energies that I've been given a lot of experience of many things. That doesn't mean I'm 200 years old. I'm at this age only. But maybe it's I keep looking into what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? So that I can help somebody with this. This is how my mind functions. Now, maybe like in astrology that you said, maybe based on my chart, there is something. So I have a birth defect with respect to my vision.
Okay.
I can't see clearly. And medically, I mean, our viewers also can see that it's called macular degeneration with retinitis pigmentosa, a combination of both, retina problem. So life started off as everything was good, but as my age progresses, my vision regresses. So in the search for the answer for this, I started trying to find out different things. So like you said, detachment. I used to love to read. Like I mentioned, young when I used to read. I love to be with people, meet people. I love going to new places. But this vision effect, because my vision was regressing, I love playing sports. I used to love playing cricket. Sports, but cricket also. But then that ball, like since it's a tennis ball, it's small at the cockpit, it's small. Slowly, I was not able to play anymore because I can't see the ball anymore. Once, twice it hit me on my face, and then I'm like, okay, that's it. I don't want to kill myself. So I chose football. The ball is bigger now. So I chose football. So that way, one by one, I progressed. But what I noticed was as my time went ahead, it took away reading from me. I could not read anymore properly. I couldn't recognize people because it requires any medical person seeing this, macula is responsible for the fine vision, the clarity of vision.
Okay.
So my macula is affected. So, and it's degenerating with time. So when I'm like seeing people, recognizing them requires the clarity of vision, which was slowly fading away from me. In fact, there was this time when once my dad was walking next to me for 10 minutes, I couldn't recognize him. And 2 minutes afterward, he only had to ask me, what? You don't know your own father or what? I'm like, hey, when did you come? This was my expression. Of course, we were joking. He knows it, obviously. But this was the condition. And it took traveling away from me. I love travel, I love seeing new places. It took everything slowly. But it happened at such a gradual pace that I readjusted myself, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? If I can't do this, so I love to read, so I can't read now. I started watching documentaries. I couldn't recognize people, so I used to tell them upfront, see, so and so problem is there. I don't mind if I don't recognize you tomorrow, etc., etc. So I found the ways out. By God's grace, I found the way out, like how to deal with it. This is how I got into healing, to find as a solution. I'm doing Ayurveda. I send my reports to all the doctors in the world, sent it to Europe, in Dubai, London, I mean, basically many places. They all had one thing in common. They said there is no cure. And if somebody tells you also there is cure, don't believe them. They're fooling you. Like, itna confidently bol rahe hain, matlab barabar hoga. But I didn't stop there. I'm like, no, there has to be some solution somewhere. That's how I got into Ayurveda. Different places I tried Ayurveda. Definitely there was a difference, but the treatment was pretty long and all those things. So, but yes, finally I came down to an Ayurvedic practitioner, a doctor, with whom I've taken. And in the meantime, before Ayurveda, in fact, I started healing. That's how I went to healing. Like I said, I went to healing for certain problems. So this was the thing. So at that point of time, he said, let's do one thing. Let's work on the emotion aspect first. Let's balance you first. Then we'll work on the eyes. Yeah, okay, fine. I found difference in the emotional aspect. And I'm like, wow, this can work. Then, with God's grace and Guru's grace and with all the higher blessings, gradually my vision has been improving slowly. Yeah, there was a drop. Let's be practical. There was a drop in between because, of course, we're having a problem. We realign, we understand, we change course. Okay, healing is not working. Let's go for this one. But we stuck to it. And just now, if I tell you, like a year and 2-3 years ago, 10 years ago, I had taken my retina photos. 2-3 years ago, we had taken photos again. And there was a difference in the photo.
Positive difference,
yes, positive difference. The color of the retina had changed. Just 2 months ago, we took another photo. We took another report also. And in that report, it is clearly showing that the old dead cells are being regenerated.
Oh my God.
So by God's grace, with consistent effort, so it's happening.
However slow, but it's happening.
It's happening. Where somebody said there is no hope. And if anybody tells you also, don't believe them. How is it? No, there has to be some way, is always my thought process. So that's what kept me going. Now, like when you mentioned about Ketu taking things away. Now, agreed, this might be a very, very bad story. But the kind of learning, the detachments, the understanding that I got in this process of finding answers and solutions, I had two options. Either sit, why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? I am such a nice person, etc., etc. Or like, okay, this has happened. What do we do with it? How can we need to keep moving, right? So how do we go forward? So this is the thing that I have taken, and I think when you said Ketu, cutting and giving you moksha, I think this is how slowly the detachment is working, is what I feel.
Yeah, because the sole purpose of detachment, that's a wonderful story and a very inspiring story. I think we can learn a lot from this, not only about planets but about life also, that we should not give up. But this is not a very negative way of running behind things, but this is a kind of a passion that is with hope, but also without any attachment. Like when you tried for finding answers, you did not, I think, give yourself a time limit.
No.
It's like, I will try.
Yeah.
So that is the Saturn's role. Do the karma, don't expect the results. And this is like, we can see that it works. If we don't expect the results, karma do give positive results.
Definitely it does.
And this is exactly what Saturn Rahu Ketu does. But we humans want it now.
Exactly.
When we define something with time, we think we can win the race with time. But maybe the universe always has a better plan. Now let me tell this to everyone. We can now see that universe always has a higher and a better plan for you. You just have to trust the process.
Trust and wait. So
trust
trust connected to heart chakra. Just mentioning again heart chakra where the Saturn role comes into play. That again, I guess he's teaching us that also.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, again, by God's grace, I've had beautiful support from firstly my parents always, who always been backing me up for everything. I mean, whatever I've gotten till now, wherever I've reached, is just because of them. That's what I will say, my father and my mother. And definitely my friends and all the people who have always been there with me, very supportive. we need to go ahead. I mean, there are times when it is a big challenge also. Like, so there was an accident also that I had in 2006, which further deteriorated my issue. Like, this full side was fractured actually.
Okay.
So there is a plate here in my eye. Even now, to remind me that day, and it's like a metal plate for that. And that was a big hit for me. Now what? Because the vision drastically dropped in this eye.
Okay.
Before it was going very slowly. Now I think if you, a little bit of numerology, I think 6 plus 2, 2006 is 8. So I don't know if it connects.
Saturn.
So that time also. And now the best part, you know what? That is the year, like after which I had to study. And then I had to look forward, like I need to I was in bachelor's that time. I had to complete my master's. How do I do? What do I do? I was thinking of HR, MBA, something, but HR requires a lot of people dealing now. Vision is reduced. How do I do? You change your path. Then I went into computers. So that's how I did my master's in computer application, because at that point of time, PDF files, and because of PDF files, I could read computer. It was easier. And the institute, the place where I went to study my MCA, is the place where I met an amazing person. He was a trainer. And when I saw this person, I'm like, this is the kind of person I want to be. I would say my role model at that point of time. I met him. That made me want to be a trainer. That made me search for things of how you can improve yourself as a trainer. So then I got into multiple fields. So through every field, I was learning. Okay, learn this from here, learn this from here. And at that point of time, when I had become a trainer, I realized that just because I had gone through all those practical experience, so I was into sales, I was into marketing, sales, multiple fields, with just helping you with the personality aspect, how to talk to people, how to communicate. So because of that, I could train very well, because I had the life experience. Again, all because of the accident, all because of, I would say, Saturnian energies, 2006 maybe. But again, so my take is this, like what you said, it's not bad. If I can sit and just like say, oh, why did this happen? What did I do? It's okay, it's there. Accept it. Move forward. Let's see what we can do.
Again, acceptance and move on.
Acceptance and move on.
That was great. I wish we will talk more on chakras, and I think we need to bring more information about 7 chakras to the audience so that they can relate more with every aspect. I think the 7 chakras encompasses every aspect of life.
Every aspect.
So thank you for being on the show.
Thank
you. It was a great inspiration, and I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much for this opportunity to share.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.